Good morning. I'm Mrs. JP Suchitra from Dr. MGR Educational Research Institute. So now I'm going to explain what are the defects which can be produced in the crystal. So the contents is introduction, types of defects, and then its explanation. Introduction. The crystalline material has a crystal structure in which the atoms are arranged in the regular and periodic pattern. In that crystal structure, the defect which can be produced in, um, in the arrangement of atoms. So sometimes defects are deliberately created to improve the properties of the crystal. So classification of defects based on the dimensionality. So the defects actually classified into four types. First one is vacancy, second one is interstitial, third one is Fresnel defect, and fourth one is Scotty defect. So in one dimensional line defects are edge location, screw location. Then 2D dimensional defects, that is grain boundary, twin boundary, and stacking fall. Then three-dimensional defects are dispersant, precipitate, and then inclusion, voids, or cracks. So first we are going to see about the point defect. So point defects is nothing but then the defect which is produced in the arrangement produced from the ideal arrangement of the atoms, that is around a point or an atom in a crystalline substances. So that is called as a point defect. Point defects are classified into two types. One is non-ionic crystals, another one is ionic crystal. So in non-ionic crystal, we have two, vacancy and interstitial. In ionic crystal, we have two defect, Fresnel defect and Schottky defect. So next defect is the vacancy defect. So vacancy is nothing but empty place. So when the atoms are missing in the regular and periodic arrangement of atoms in the crystal structure, we call it as vacancy defect. So this result in the decrease in density of the substance, and number of vacancy defect depends on the temperature. So in the diagram you can see that here the space is missing, that is a missing atom is missing, so that this kind of defect we call it as vacancy defect. Then next one is interstitial defects. So addition of extra atom within a crystal structure, which is called as the interstitial defects. So this defect increases the density of the substance, causes atomic distortion. So vacancy and interstitial are inverse phenomena. Schottky defect. So in order to maintain electrical neutrality, the number of missing cations and anions are equal. So cations and anions must be equal. So in the Schottky defect, so any one of the anion or cation are missed. So that is called as the Schottky defect. It also decreases the density of the crystal. The next one is Fresnel defect. So cation being smaller get displaced to interstitial voids. So combination of vacancy and interstitial atoms, no charge in the density. That is the Fresnel defect. Line defect. Line defects are the irregularities or deviation from ideal arrangement in entire rows of lattice point. Interatomic bonds significantly distorted in immediate vicinity of dislocation line. Dislocation affects the mechanical properties. The next one is edge locations. It's divided into two types: positive edge dislocation, negative dislocation. So screw dislocation, the lattice or atomic planes follow helical or spiral along the dislocation line. Surface defect. So surface defects are associated with boundaries that are separate region of the material and have different crystal structure. Two-dimensional defect, and then it's due to change in the orientation of atomic planes and staking sequence of atomic planes. It is this kind of defect caused during solidification or mechanical or thermal treatment of material. Then this defect affect the mechanical properties, electrical resistance and corrosion resistance. Bulk or volume defect. Here you have first one is precipitates, that is fraction of micron in size. Then second one is dispersants, maybe a large precipitates, grains or polygranular particles distributed throughout the microstructure. Then third type is the inclusion, foreign particles or large precipitate particles. It's undesirable, then it is harmful. And last one is void, that is trapped gases and decreases mechanical strength. Thank you.